Hello and welcome to Ground Control RC. Today's tip is on specifically this XK A600, the DHC-2 Beaver, and it is referencing the landing gear. And this applies to a lot of these mini and micro fixed wing aircraft, that especially the tail draggers. So one thing you want to do is on this landing gear, it has these skirts, and these skirts have a couple of little loops, hooks on them. They'll go around a little plastic bar, and that's basically what holds these skirts in place, which in turn holds the landing gear in. So what I found was these skirts keep popping off of this little, the hooks on the skirt keep popping off of this little plastic bar down there, and so you're going to end up losing your landing gear, either on landing or on takeoff or in mid-flight, and I didn't want that to happen. So what I did was I just took a little piece of foam from a piece of foam board, Adam's foam board that I use for my scratch builds, and I put some hot glue on the back side of this and took that foam and smoothed that out and pushed the glue all the way inside that gap. I did that on both sides, and then the same thing on the front here where you can see the bar and the cutout in the skirt where it hooks on. I just covered that with hot glue, took a piece of foam and got rid of the excess and smoothed it out, and so now these things are in there pretty secure. I don't think those are gonna pop back off, at least not anytime soon. The other part of this tip is in regards to the tail wheel. When you first get these planes, before you take them out and fly them, give these things a good push on the floor to see how they track. Or you can put your battery in it, bind it to your transmitter, and taxi it across the ground or taxi it across the floor. But make sure that your plane's wheels are such that you get a straight tracked when you're taxiing. You don't want it not to have a straight tracked when you go to take off or you go to land. And what I found is it's probably when they package them or they get tossed around by FedEx, UPS, whoever's delivering these things. And you just have a small little wire here on these tail wheels, and they get bent really easy. So what I found is when I tested the track on these things, they're usually turning in one direction or another because that tail wheel is either slanted or it's turned. It's been bent. So make sure that you get this straightened out. Make sure you check your track on these planes. Make sure that they're going in a straight line. You don't want to go out and take off and have your plane spin around on you, or come in for a landing and have it spin around on you. And because these things are so fragile back here, make sure that you check them periodically and make sure that ground track stays straight. You may have to adjust it from time to time. Also, this little wire fits into this little foam slot down here, and over time that's going to loosen up, and you're going to end up, I've already lost one of these tail wheels on a different plane with the same kind of wire and foam wheel tail wheel. So take some hot glue or some Gorilla Glue or some foam tack or some other foam safe glue and fill that gap that holds that wire in, and do that before you make your adjustment, because it will tend to slide around on you a little bit if you try and make an adjustment to the tail wheel before you secure that in there in the fuselage. So secure that inside the fuselage, then check your ground track, and then make your adjustment on your tail wheel so that you get a straight tracked on these planes. So don't forget to do that. Happy flying. Please give a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.